Good morning, ladies. Welcome back to my channel. You know, it's that time of year. It's fall and it's sweater weather. I live in Michigan, and unfortunately today is going to be like 52 and rainy. It's, you know, it's a little bit colder than it normally is. It normally is still about 60, but it's been colder the last week. So, a little flake in my eye. I thought that I would do a video showing you my 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes that I use in the fall. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, probably over 100, as I said in one of my previous videos. When I did this look, this was my fall look that I love, and I'm going to show you the palette that I used to make this look. And I have several that are just the right tones and colors that speak fall or winter to me. Mostly fall because they have the colors of fall in it. And here in Michigan, in the fall, our leaves start to turn to red and orange and yellow and brown, and they just have all these beautiful tones that they just, I don't know, they're just warm and cozy tones that make me think of fall. So I like to have my eyeshadows do the same thing. So I deepen my colors a little bit or use a little bit different colors than I do in the summertime. Now in the summertime, I will still always use my rosy tones and different things, and I will use them in the fall too, but I add a little bit of a deeper tone with them as well to give them that fall look. So with that, and these are in no particular order. They're not like my worst to best or the ones I use more than others. These are just 10 of my favorite palettes that I use all fall time. I'll fall and into the winter a little bit. So we're going to start out with the most economical one, and that is Colourpop. Colourpop is a brand that you can find in Ulta, or you can find on their website. I love Colourpop shadows. They perform beautifully. And this one called Lust for Dusk. Look at these colors. Now you're going to say the little blue one up there, but this is like a gray, blue gray. And the colors that are in here to me speak fall because they've got your orangey tones in here. They've got some like mauvey tones. They even have one that's like almost a mustardy yellow color in orange. They are beautiful colors, and they've got browns in here. So to me, this is a good color for fall. And it's got like a plum color in here, which once in a while, you'll see leaves that have a little bit of plum color in them. But the colors that are in here, I'll show you some of these. Let's get here. And tell me if you don't think that these just speak fall to you. Look at those colors. Oops, guess I put my arm backward. But look at those colors. To me, those are colors that just speak fall, and I love them. And there's a palette that looks a lot like that. If you didn't want to do Colourpop, the one that I use to get the look that I have is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. Take a look at these palettes side by side. I think the Natasha Denona is a little bit deeper in tone, but you can see. And this is one of my favorite fall palettes. That's why I did the look, my fall look out of this. They both have your orange tones, your mauvey tones, maroon tones in them. They have some browns, but the Lust for Dusk is a little bit lighter. It's not quite as deep. And if I want to do something that's deep or a little bit different, this is when I use my Natasha Denona palette. Let's see if I can. And you can see what the colors look like. I picked a lot of these different colors because I do love them, and I love the way that they look in the fall. Yes, Natasha Denona is $69, just a little bit more, but that's why I wanted to show you this palette. These have a lot of the same tones and undertones. This one is just a little bit lighter than this one, but they both have beautiful fall tones to me. Now, if you want to do something that is just a little bit more neutral, I love this one. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes. Nudes are great colors for year-round, and I tell you, I use this palette year-round. It's good for the summer, it's good for the fall, it's good for the winter. Look at the colors that are in here. Go from right to left. you can take this, and in the summertime, I will use a lot more from this side of the palette. I love this because right here, in fact, I can do that. I didn't do it on my list. Look, I am going to grab a brush that I have right here, and I love that Too Faced has this because then you can, and I grab this palette a lot. I have a little individual color that's great for brow bones, but this one as well has your little underbrow bone color. So I love that. But if you're using this in the summertime, you can stay here with your lighter colors. But then as it becomes autumn and winter, move over to these colors over here. And can't tell, you can tell that there's some pinks and mauves, but then they go a little bit more orange or coppery colored. So these again are great. They're neutrals, but they have a little bit of color to them. So they're going to be great for fall. And this one, I like it because it's nice and slim. So it's great for travel as well, but it just has colors to me that this one speaks. It's an all year round palette, but I do love it in the fall because I love grabbing colors from both ends, this end down here, and just a perfect fall palette. Okay, now we're going to move into a palette that I love this palette, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I think Allie Glines is one of the ones that I hear talking about this a lot. This is the Nabla Side by Side Nude palette. But when you look at these colors in here, these are beautiful nudes. They're neutral to warm, but there are some cool tones up on top here. These are more cool. These are neutral. And then you've got some warm tones that are down and mixed in through here. And this brown one right here called, I think it's Clan. This to me almost looks like it's brown, but it looks like a brownish green. It looks like it's got a little bit different tones. But if you look at some of the colors that are in here, and the colors that are in here, her neutrals and her powder brush blonde, okay, that just isn't coming out right. Her matte shades, if you look at them, look at those colors. They just, to me, scream fall colors. And I just love them. This is a palette that, as I said, I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but to me, it is a great palette because it's got your neutrals in it. I use this definitely more in the fall. These to me are a little bit deeper than what I would use in the summertime, but they're good neutrals and they've got, this is coming up real yellow. It's not that yellow. It's more of a coppery gold color. Not one that I would normally use, but there are times when I have like popped that in the corner over a different color just to give it a little bit more of a warm tone for fall. So I love that. Excuse me, I'm dropping things on the floor. Another one I would highly recommend, and I know you can get this at Ulta as well because that's where I got mine. Okay, moving on. One of the brands that I just tried recently that I have fallen in love with is Sydney Grace. And this is Sydney Grace's Love's Journey. Look at this palette. Look at the artwork on this. Sydney Grace does some of the most beautiful artwork on her palette covers. I tell you, I love them. But not only that, the shadows inside themselves. Look at these colors. I'll try to put them up right so you can see the names, but I don't want the mirror to get in the way. So look at these colors, and I love the names that she has for them. Kisses, Everlasting Love, Lovesick, Unforgettable. But look at the tones in here. You've got greens, browns, oranges. You've got just so many different colors. And then your bottom row, if you're like me and I like cooler tones, you can mix these cooler tones in with your warmer tones. These all will work together so beautifully, and you can make so many different colors and different things. And I'm going to show you just some of these colors. Look at these colors and tell me again. They're beautiful neutrals. And I'm going to take some from the bottom row so you can see too. I'll clean my hands off so I can get this. These are more gray in tone, but they're beautiful. And the shimmers, look at these shimmers. I'll add a shimmer next to these and tell me. I've added those shimmers in there, and look at those. They're just beautiful colors, and they all just went on so smooth, so buttery. Her shimmers do not have any fallouts. I would highly recommend this, and I will tell you the day that I'm taping this, I think like 3 days after that, and I will put a notification on Instagram about this, that Sydney Grace, by the time this comes up, her sale would have been over, but she does have sales. Go on their website, check for sales. I love Sydney Grace. This is one of my newer favorite brands of eyeshadows. Love, love, love. I have not tried any of her other products other than her eyeshadows, but I am looking forward to doing that. Can't wait. Okay, moving on. I just keep dropping things. ABH. This is the ABH Rose Metal palette. And unfortunately, I dropped mine one day and I have a couple of cracked ones in here. So I have to be very, very careful. I tried to press them back in. I caught it halfway and it sort of bumped against the bathroom cupboard. But look at these. They are beautiful fall colors. Talk about your greens that are in here. Metallics and some rust colors. Again, I will show you some of these. Let's see if I can get these off my arm. Look at that. We need to get a brush up here. But look at these colors. The shimmers and the mattes, they're so beautiful. And look how easily that just blended onto my arm. These are beautiful formulas. I really love them. They work well. If you can get a palette that's not broken, mine, like I said, I sort of half dropped it. And so I keep my little clear piece over the top of these, and I did try to put some eye drops in here and press them all back in, the ones that sort of broke. I luckily had the plastic. I keep it over it and it was closed. So that sort of held the eyeshadow in place when I dropped it. So I love this palette. I would highly recommend this, especially if you have warmer tones and brown eyes. The colors that are in here are... Well, life happens, and that was a disaster. When I tipped that up, apparently I did not press my shadows back in there very well. So now I have eyeshadow all over, but my two colors, I had to try to press them back in again, and I will try to fix them, but I have a feeling I will be repurchasing that palette because I do love it. And I have a disastrous mess all over my makeup table here. So let's try to move on the best we can. See which. Such a bummer. Such a good palette. Ugh. I'm all colorful. Okay, moving on to our next palette. This is one that I got last Christmas. This is the Tarte Maneater. Now, this is the one from last Christmas. I think they may still have this available, but talk about fall colors. Again, these are just beautiful for fall. Tarte has amazing formulas, and I know it looks like I haven't used this a lot. I got it in the winter, and then spring came and summer came, so I haven't used it that much. Now that fall's coming, I am starting to use it a lot, so I have used a lot of the colors in here. I'm just very careful with it. I love these colors. I love the green that's in here. This is just an amazing color. If I have a clean spot on any of my hands, let me see if I have a makeup wipe here. Another one. Trying to, so I can maybe do swatches for you. You know, sometimes you have little disastrous days, but look at this green. Look at that. It's beautiful. And they do have some colors that, you know, I normally wouldn't wear, but if you're someone who likes like the oranges and the yellows, but like this one to me is a beautiful, soft transition shade. They've got a couple in here that are super, they're light, good for transitions, but then they have some that are a little bit deeper, and they go all the way to your really deep oranges. So you can go start with these really soft colors on this end, and then you can deepen it up as much as you want. I just love this palette, and I love the case on this, and it's nice. It's hard. It's a metal palette, which is nice. The ABH one is cardboard, so that could be another reason why it did it. And it's textured, so it's so cute. I just love this. Love this palette. Absolutely love this palette. Okay, another one that I got last year when it came out was the Huda Beauty Naughty palette. Sorry, all of my palettes now have eyeshadow all over them. And this one is beautiful. This one has a lot more nudes, has a lot more browns in it, but then it does, like you've got different browns all through here, but then you've got some of your orangey colors and you've got some of your more tones that have a little bit of red in them. Beautiful. There are a couple in here that I've yet to figure out what they are, like the little jelly one. And Huda has done this with a couple of hers. I don't quite know what it is. It just feels sort of like a balm almost. It does have a color to it though. It does have a color to it. So, I mean, I just don't know if you would use it like as a primer, put it on first, and then your shadow would stick to it better, because I think that might work if you were going to use it like that, because there are little color beads in here and it does come out with color. I love that she's got two-tone colors in here that work very well together, and that she's got a couple of duochromes in here. I love this palette. The mattes are very blendable. The shimmers don't have a lot of fallout in them. I would definitely recommend them. Huda does make very good eyeshadow palettes. I have probably about 6 of hers, 5 or 6 of hers. I love them. And it was very hard for me to pick 10. I will tell you, it was very hard because Huda has got a couple of other ones that have beautiful fall colors in them. I could have done my favorite 20. Don't want to get that involved. But, okay, last two are new palettes to me that I both recently just got both of these. And one of them I've only tried twice. The other one I've tried a couple of different kinds. In fact, I did a makeup look on this. And this is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is a beautiful palette. Everyone is talking about this palette, and I can see why. Oops, my hair is falling down. I can see why. Look at the colors that are in here. This is perfect for the girl like me who has cooler undertones or pinker undertones, and you want a neutral palette. This is beautiful for fall because it has mostly cool to neutral colors. There are a couple that are warm, and I said this in my other video where I did a makeup look on this. You can listen to different YouTubers, and some will say, this is a beautiful nude to warm palette, and others will say, this is a beautiful nude to cool palette. I see more cool colors in here than I do warm. There are a couple of warms, but I like it because it has neutral colors, but it has your browns, and it does have a little peachy tone. So these are colors that are going to work. Nudes work great in the fall. Nudes work great all year round. That is why this is a perfect all year round palette, but it's one that since I've got it and it's fall time here, I am using it a lot because it goes good with my brown sweater that I have on today. It goes perfect with that and all of the different things that I love to wear in fall, all your cozy creams and browns. And I'm sorry, that's driving me nuts. I have a little flake of mascara. I tried a new mascara on, and new to me. It's one that's been around for years, but it's new to me. I tried it and not sure if I like it because I've noticed a couple of flakes already and I just put it on. So the last one, and I'm going to actually take it out of the box because I kept it in the box, is the brand new ABH Fall Romance palette. And that's pretty hope and pray. This one I did not drop, so this one is doing just fine. Look at these colors. And you know, I've looked at the reviews on this palette, and some people either hate it or they absolutely love it. I'm one of the ones who love it. And some of the people are saying, which surprises me, that they didn't think that the shadows were very blendable, or the shadows worked very well. But look at these colors. They're blending out beautiful. And look at the shimmers. Let's see if I can find it. They're beautiful. And the colors in this, the color story, it is just a beautiful one. I have not tried, I will say this, I have not yet tried Divine. I have not tried that one yet. That's a little bit bright. And I do step out of my comfort zone a lot, and I try a lot of different colors on my eyes. As you can see with what I'm wearing right now, I'm not afraid to use color on my eyes. I love using colors. This one, let's see. Let's just try this. I'm going to put it on my other hand because that hand is a mess. It's pretty bright, but you know what? There's a way. I've got pink on my eye right now, so I think if you use the right brush and you blend it out, it wouldn't quite look as bright as it is in the pan. But I love this, and I love this palette. Look at this. It's like velvet. It's like velvet. It's such a cute palette, and I love it. So with that, those are my 10 favorite. And as I said, and I do know that 9 out of 10 of these are higher end products. There's only the one Colourpop. I do have a lot of other Colourpop palettes that I do love that are really good brands or really good palette colors and everything. So there are other ones that are out there by Colourpop and by other brands. e.l.f. has some different ones that are more your browns and your neutrals and your coppery colors, that those would be great for you as well. So find a palette for you that has those fall tones. Not everyone is in Michigan or the northern half of the country, but I do know fall colors. I'll go all the way down to like Tennessee and that. I know when you're down in Florida and probably Texas and California, you don't get the change of colors, but you know what? It's still fun to wear those color palettes that, you know what? They speak fall. They speak fall because if you Google fall pictures, you're going to see pictures of fall trees and fall colors. And that's what people think of. When you Google winter, most people think of snow and cold weather and warm clothes. And that's what I do as well. But not everybody lives in those kind of climates. So you have to go with what's in your climate. But even if I lived in Florida in the fall, I think I would wear these colors because they just make me think of fall cozy colors. I'm not going to wear tropical colors all year round or something that's light and pale, because even if I lived in Florida, I would try to find colors in my clothes that made you think it was fall. So you knew there was a change of season, I guess is how I would put it. You don't want to wear the same clothes all year round. To me, that would be boring, but that's just me. Anyways, with that, thank you so much for joining me. I do hope that while you're here, you'll remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share this video with a friend. Thank you. Go out, have yourself a wonderful, blessed day. Happy shopping. Go out and find yourself a new, wonderful fall palette to wear. Thank you.